Welcome to another new episode of the Get Organised with Decluttr Me podcast with myself, Shalina. I hope you're well wherever you are in the world. Whether you're tuning in for the first time or you've been listening for a while, thank you so much for being here today. Your support truly means everything to me. Sharing my passion for decluttering and organising with you each week is such a joy, and I feel so lucky to do what I do. If you're enjoying the podcast, I'd be so grateful if you could help spread the word, whether it's by following, subscribing, leaving a review, or sharing this episode with your friends and family. Your feedback can make all the difference, and it keeps helping me to bring you helpful content. This February, I'm focusing on a topic that touches all of us in one way or another: clothing, shopping, and finding a balance between our style and our spending. It's the perfect time to think about how we shop, why we shop, and what we bring into our homes and wardrobes. This month is all about making smarter choices, reducing unnecessary purchases, and curating a wardrobe that truly works for you without feeling overwhelmed or breaking the bank. Today, I wanted to talk about something that fits right into that theme, a film I recently watched called Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy. It offers an in-depth look at the psychology behind why we shop the way we do. Watching it made me reflect not only on my own shopping habits, but also on the broader culture of consumption that we all live in. I think you'll find it as enlightening as I did. For those who haven't seen it, Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy was on Netflix, and it's a fascinating documentary that peels back the curtain on the tactics retailers, marketers, and tech companies use to make us spend more. It's not just about the selling of the products, it's about creating an emotional and psychological pull that keeps us buying things that we may not need or truly want. The show examines a wide range of topics, from the rise of fast fashion to the subtle tricks used in online shopping. Think of those limited time only deals or the endless stream of recommendations tailored just for you. These aren't coincidences. They're carefully designed strategies to tap into your impulses and your emotions. Another aspect of the film was exploring the role of buy now, pay later schemes, which are increasingly common. They make purchases feel less painful at the moment, but can lead to financial stress down the line. And then there's the role of the algorithms, which are designed to keep us scrolling, adding to our baskets, and coming back for more. So watching Buy Now: The Shopping Conspiracy was equal parts fascinating and unsettling. It's astonishing to see the extent to which corporations and platforms go to influence our shopping habits, often without us even realizing it. Take the example of the website sending reminders about items you left in your basket. On the surface, it might seem helpful. Don't forget, your items are waiting. But this tactic is carefully designed to create a sense of urgency and FOMO, or fear of missing out. It preys on your psychological need for closure, making us feel as though we regret not completing that purchase. This hits home with me because I've had countless conversations with clients who feel trapped in cycles of shopping and clutter. They're overwhelmed by the sheer volume of stuff in their homes, but they struggle to stop buying more. When you see how pervasive and manipulative some of the tactics are in the documentary, it's no wonder so many of us end up with overflowing wardrobes, crammed cupboards, and that nagging sense of guilt. What struck me the most in the show is how shopping has become less about fulfilling a need and more about satisfying that emotional craving. We're often buying to feel good, to fit in, or to simply distract ourselves from stress, boredom, or any other mental health issue. The problem is these purchases rarely bring lasting happiness. Instead, they add to the clutter and create more stress and anxiety in the long run. One platform that comes to mind immediately when discussing these manipulative tactics is Amazon. Let's be honest, many of us use Amazon regularly, myself included at times. Its convenience is unmatched. Fast delivery. In Dubai, we can sometimes get stuff within the same day from Amazon. I don't have to carry heavy items anymore from the supermarket as it gets delivered. There are endless product options and personalised recommendations. But it's exactly that convenience that makes it such a powerful driver of overconsumption. Amazon has mastered that art of psychology manipulation in shopping. So for instance, they've got that buy now with one click. This feature eliminates any pause for thought. So there's no moment to reflect on whether you actually need the item. It's just one tap and it's on the way to your doorstep. Then there's the personalized recommendations. So based on your browsing history, Amazon's algorithms suggest products you might also like. These recommendations are incredibly tempting and often lead to impulse choices or purchases. They have this personalized recommendation for me, but it's all organizing stuff because I buy a lot of stuff and sometimes it's the same thing, but it shows different prices. So it's useful, but that's because I buy a lot for work. Another thing is countdown timers. So how often have you seen a banner saying order within the next 2 hours for delivery tomorrow? These timers create a sense of urgency that makes you feel like you're racing against the clock. Temu, which is a Chinese app, is really bad for this and giving discount vouchers as well to entice you to finish the shop. Another thing is free returns. So while free returns sounds like a positive feature, they encourage overbuying. So people often purchase multiple versions of the same item intending to return the extras, but not all of them send them back. The result? Homes filled with packages and more often than not, items that are truly not needed. Amazon's efficiency in both its strength and its weakness, as it makes mindless consumption far too easy. As if the psychological impact of overshopping weren't enough, there's also the environmental cost to consider. One part of buy now that particularly struck me was this discussion on shopping waste and its global repercussions. A striking example of this can be seen in Ghana. The country has become a dumping ground for unsold or discarded clothing and goods from wealthier nations, often referred to as fast fashion leftovers. Every day, mountains of secondhand clothes and other products arrive at a place like the Kantamanto market in Accra. These items are often of such poor quality that they can't even be resold. Instead, they end up in landfills or are burnt, contributing to pollution and environmental degradation. This waste is not just an environmental issue, it's a humanitarian one. In Ghana, these imports disrupt local economies, undermining the market for locally made goods. It's a stark reminder that our shopping habits don't just affect us, they have ripple effects across the globe. So why do we keep on buying into this cycle of overconsumption? As Buy Now points out, shopping has become deeply tied to our emotions. Feeling stress? Buy a new pair of shoes. Feeling bored? Browse for gadgets. Feeling left out? That influencer on Instagram has the perfect solution for a price, and they get commission for it as well. But the reality is, these purchases rarely fulfill us in the way we hope they will. In fact, they often add to our stress. When I work with clients, one of the first things I often express is a sense of guilt or frustration about how much they've spent on items they don't even use or like. Decluttering these items can be freeing, but the real challenge is breaking the cycle at its source. That means questioning what we buy, resisting the manipulative tactics on platforms like Amazon and Temu, and becoming more mindful about what we allow into our homes. If by now the shopping conspiracy has taught me anything, it's that we have the power to take control of our shopping habits. Overconsumption isn't just a personal problem, it's a global issue that affects the environment, economics, and even our mental well-being. So let me give you some practical, actionable ways to shop less, waste less, and live more intentionally. Number 1 is to pause before purchasing. So impulse buying is a huge driver to clutter and waste. To combat this, always give yourself 24 to 72 hour pause before buying any non-essential items. During this time, ask yourself, do I truly need this? How will it add value to my life? Do I already own something similar? I often follow this rule when shopping online, especially for clothing sites like Net-a-Porter or The Outnet. If an item catches my eye, I'll add it to my basket, but leave it there for a few days. If I come back and it's still in stock, I reassess whether I truly want or need it. If I'm not completely in love with it, it's deleted. If I still feel excited about it, then I might buy it. This pause has saved me from buying loads of unnecessary purchases over the years. Apps like Amazon, ASOS, and Shein make shopping far too easy. By removing the apps from your phone, you can add an extra layer of friction that can help reduce impulse buying and browsing. If you're hesitant to delete them entirely, try logging out of your accounts. Having to re-enter your details each time can give you a moment to pause and reconsider whether you really need to shop. Audit your wardrobe and your home regularly. So one of the most effective ways to shop less is to appreciate what you already own. Regularly audit your wardrobe and other areas of your home to rediscover items you may have forgotten about. For clothing, try a seasonal audit. So pull out everything you own for the current season. Assess what fits, what you love, and what you actually wear. Donate or sell anything that no longer serves you. Creating a capsule wardrobe can also simplify your choices and reduce the urge to buy more. By curating a smaller collection of high-quality, versatile pieces, you'll have a wardrobe that feels both manageable and stylish. 4. Support your local and sustainable brands. When you do need to buy something, consider supporting brands that are local to prioritize ethical production and sustainability. These brands often focus on quality over quantity, meaning their products last longer and don't contribute to the throwaway culture. If you want to look for ethical brands as well, here are my tips. So look for certifications like Fair Trade, GOTS, which is Global Organic Textile Standard, or B Corp. Research their supply chain transparency. Do they disclose where and how their products are made? Avoid brands that engage in greenwashing, which is this new thing that's happening, where they falsely market themselves as environmentally friendly without any real evidence. Shopping locally can also help reduce the environmental impact of shipping and support small businesses in your community. Number 5, educate yourself on waste. Understanding the broader impact of your shopping habits can be a powerful motivator for change. For instance, did you know that countries like Ghana are overwhelmed by fast fashion waste? Secondhand clothes from wealthier nations are shipped there, but much of it is so poorly made that they can't even be reused. This waste, as it shows on the documentary, and as I've said, ends up in landfills, being burnt, or, causing significant environmental harm. Learning about these issues can inspire you to be more mindful of what you buy and where it ends up. Documentaries like The True Cost and books like Fashionopolis are excellent resources to start with. 6, implement a no-buy or a low-buy month. So I did that starting, I think, November or December, and I've been doing that since. So I commit to a month or longer where you don't purchase anything non-essential. You use this time to focus on using what you already have. If you're not ready for a full no-buy, try a low-buy month where you only allow yourself a set budget for discretionary items. So ideas for a no-buy month are you repair or upcycle items you already own, you swap clothes or items with your friends, or challenge yourself to create new outfits from your existing wardrobe. 7 is track your spending. So I talked about spending and sorting out your finances last month from episode 305 onwards. So have a listen to those episodes and you can hear what I do to get myself organized with spending and finances. Sometimes you don't realize how much you're spending until you see it written down. So keep a record of every purchase you make for a month. At the end of the month, review your list and categorize each item as a need or a want. The simple exercise can reveal patterns and help you identify areas to cut back. Apps like Mint or WNAB, which is You Need a Budget, can make this process even easier. Next is to declutter your inbox and social media. Marketing emails and social media ads are designed to tempt you into buying things you don't need. Take control by unsubscribing for promotional emails and unfollowing accounts that encourage excessive shopping. Instead, fill your feeds with accounts to promote minimalism, sustainability, and mindful living. This shift in content can help you to stay inspired to consume less. Next, set shopping rules for yourself. So create personal shopping rules that can help you stay accountable. So for example, follow a 1 in, 2 out rule. So if you buy something new, you must get rid of 2 things, preferably the same item, in the same category. Limit your purchases to a set number per month, so no more than 2 clothing items in a month. Avoid shopping during sales unless you have a specific need in mind. Next, learn to say no to trends. Trends are fleeting, but their impact on your wardrobe and the environment can last much longer. Instead of chasing the latest style, focus on timeless pieces that suit your personal style and will last for years. Before buying into a trend, ask yourself if it aligns with your lifestyle and if you'll still love it a year from now. Another thing you could do is borrow or rent instead of buying. So for items you'll only use once or rarely, like formal wear, party decorations or tools, consider borrowing it from friends or renting. There's I've forgotten the website now, it's just come out of my head. But there was a website here in Dubai where you could rent formal gowns. So I did it a few times when I went to fancy places. And there's also other ones called Her and By Rotation that allows you to rent stylish outfits for events. And many libraries now offer tool rentals as well. Next, shop secondhand. So thrift shops, charity shops, and online platforms like Depop and Vinted are excellent alternatives to buying new. Shopping secondhand not only saves you money, but also reduces the demand for new production, which helps the environment. Next, reward yourself differently. So many of us use shopping as a way to reward ourselves or boost our mood. Try replacing this habit with non-material rewards, such as a day out in a park or a beach, a relaxing bath with candles and music, or trying a new recipe or activity. Buy Now, the Shopping Conspiracy documentary is a powerful reminder of how deeply shopping is embedded in our lives and how much influence corporations have on our habits. From the moment we browse online to when we check out, companies are using sophisticated psychological tactics to encourage us to spend. Whether it's countdown timers, exclusive discounts, or the ever-present "you might also like" recommendations, these strategies are designed to make us feel like we're missing out if we don't click Buy Now. But what stood out to me the most while watching the show was the realization that we're not powerless. Yes, corporations have become incredibly skilled at influencing, but we can take back control. By becoming more aware of these tactics and consciously evaluating our purchases, we can break free from the cycle of overconsumption. It's not just about reducing clutter in our homes, although that's certainly a big win. It's also about saving money and making choices that benefit the planet. With the rising concern about waste, particularly in regions like Ghana, where fast fashion waste is causing an environmental crisis, every mindful decision we make has a ripple effect. I'd love to hear your experiences with shopping. Have you ever been drawn in by the urgency of a countdown timer or the endless carousel of "you might also like" products? Do you find yourself purchasing things only to realize later that they weren't really necessary? Let's chat about it. You can share your thoughts with me on Instagram at DECLUTTRME. I find these conversations so insightful and encouraging, and it's always great to know that we're not alone in navigating these challenges. So I've talked a lot about this documentary today, but I want you to take a moment to reflect on your relationship with shopping and what truly adds value to your life. Consider auditing your wardrobe or setting up a no-buy challenge for the rest of the month. Small steps like these can lead to big changes over time. As always, thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to subscribe to the Get Organised with Decluttr Me for more tips. And if you found today's episode helpful, I'd love for you to leave a review. Until next time, thanks so much for listening.